Let's cover some of the basic exponent rules that you need to remember. The first one we're going to cover is any base raised to the power of 0. Anything to any item at all, number or variable, raised to the 0 power will always equal 1. So if we have the number like 12, but if it's to the 0 power, it will still equal 1. Even if we have an entire monomial base like x, y, z, but it's all to the 0 power, that still equals 1. The next one we want to cover are whenever we multiply the same base. So if we're multiplying a to the b power times a to the c power, that becomes a to the b plus c power. Numerically, if we have like 2 to the 4th power times 2 to the 5th power, that becomes 2 to the 4 plus 5 or 2 to the 9th. It works the same for variable bases. If we have x to the 5th power times x to the, let's say, 10th power, that becomes x to the 5 plus the 10, or x to the 15th power. Now let's look at if we have one base, but it's raised to 2 powers, so it's a to the b power, and again raised to the c power, that becomes that base raised to the b times the c. As an example, if we have 2 to the 3rd power, and that is raised to the 5th power, that becomes 2 to the 3 times 5, or 2 to the 15th. The same with a variable base. If we have a v to the 6th power, and that again is raised to the 2nd power, we now have a power to a power. You multiply the powers, so that is v to the 6 times the 2, or v to the 12th power. The last one we want to cover on exponent rules are any item raised to a negative exponent. We'll call a to the -1. The negative exponent is just a reciprocal. It has nothing to do with it being a negative number, but it means this item here, has to change its position. Right now, it's kind of like it's in the top part of the fraction. So we would have to move it from the top down to the bottom for it to become now a positive exponent. So a to the -1 is actually a 1 over a to the 1st power. Let's see an example with numbers. So if we have the 2 to the -3rd power, that is actually the same as 1 over 2 to the 3rd, that's a 3, which is 1/8, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. If we're looking at variables, it works the same with the variables. If we start with a 1 over x to the -5, okay, because it's a negative exponent, again, it doesn't mean it's a negative number. It means that it has to switch its position within this fraction or within this rational expression. So if it's to the -5 on the bottom, we're going to bring it up to the top to become a +5. So this becomes x to the 5th over 1, or just x to the 5th. The final one I would like to cover is dividing powers. If we have a to the b power divided by a to the c power, that is actually a to the b minus c. So if we have 2 to the 3rd power over 2 squared, that becomes 2 to the 3 minus 2, or 2 to the 1st, which simplifies to just 2. And likewise with variables, if we have x to the 5th power over x to the 1st power, that becomes x to the 5 minus 1 or x to the 4th.